Hello. Why am I so little? Good evening, everybody. It's Chris here again from the Stop Cafe in Mirror, Alberta. Full disclosure, I actually had a really late night last night. I was in my garage until roughly 1:30 in the morning working on a car and got it fixed and decided I needed to test drive it late at night. So I did that. Then I got up at 5:30 to go and clean the deep fryer at the Stop Cafe. So I haven't had much sleep, which is why I may be seeming a little more irritable or tired looking than normal, or it's just because I'm old and ugly, but that's another story. Anyway, all I want to do right now, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to play 8-bit Nintendo. I want to have my brain go a little mushy, playing a stupid little video game and not think about the world, but I can't. Do you want to know why? It's because people are absolutely disgusting and they'll do anything in order to prevent others from succeeding. Don't know what I'm talking about? Let me show you. Here we go. So my friend Bonnie sent me this Substack just a few moments ago, actually. Right as I was about to turn on my Nintendo. Thanks a lot, Bonnie. Here it is. I wonder if you can read that. You able to read that? Is it big enough? Is it working? How's that? Try that. I'm going to read it to you. And I'm going to, this is going to be pretty quick. I'm going to read this to you and I'm going to tell you the reality kind of during reading this. So this is a Substack that I got from Bonnie, and it's from Prairies Exposed. I've seen their stuff before. It seems as though somebody with not a lot of intelligence is trying to use the Alberta independence movement and the Saskatchewan independence movement to try and elevate themselves as some sort of counter narrative. And they're trying to attract followers and clicks by doing things like this. So let me read it. The title is Growing Concerns Over Data Collection and Privacy at Alberta Prosperity Project Town Halls. Now, I was at one point the chief executive officer of the Alberta Prosperity Project, so I'm very intimate in knowledge of their the way they work and details and things like that and policies. I also sit on the board of the Alberta Prosperity Society, so I still have my thumb on the pulse and I know what's going on. So when I tell you these things, I'm speaking as somebody who knows because I'm heavily involved. As a matter of fact, right from the beginning. So Prairies Exposed says, complaints are increasing about Alberta Prosperity Project town hall meetings with attendees raising serious concerns about privacy, consent, and data collection practices. According to multiple reports from individuals who attended recent events, photographs have been taken of people both inside and outside venues without clear consent, while others say they were asked to provide personal information far beyond what would normally be expected for a political meeting. Bullshit. Absolutely not. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of people following me on my social medias. I blog. I get responses to that. I have email lists. I have never, ever heard anybody say anything like this, especially about the data collection. The Alberta Prosperity Project has memberships. And when you get a membership, you give out your personal information because that's how you become a member. So you're categorized and you have contact deals and those types of things, of course. If you attend any public event, any event that's open to the public, unless it's explicitly said that it's private and there's no photography, anybody who wants can take your picture. That's the way it is. You can be walking down the street, someone can take your picture. They can do whatever they want with it, except for defame you, use it to harass you, things like that. But if they're doing it with no ill intent, it's not illegal. And if you have an issue with that, you can always approach somebody and say, hey, I really don't want my picture taken. And we've had some people do that. And then we make efforts to not do it. That's the way it is because we're polite, but there's nothing untoward about it. Several attendees claimed they were photographed upon arrival or while seated inside town halls without being informed how the images would be used, stored, or shared. Others allege that photography also occurred in public areas outside the venues, creating discomfort among those who did not wish to be publicly associated with the movement. If you don't want to be publicly associated with the movement, why would you be at an event held by the movement? Nobody needs to ask your permission to use your picture. Nobody needs to tell you how that picture is going to be stored or shared. It is not a requirement. It's not a law. This is complete fear mongering from someone who disagrees with Alberta independence. You know how I know that? Because now they post our upcoming event poster, which is going to be at the Lincoln Hall in Lacombe County on January 6th at 7 p.m. I'm one of the speakers there, and I will also be live streaming and recording my speech. So I hope to see you there. But the purpose of this Substack is not to alert people to the dangers of their picture being taken. Otherwise, they'd probably be upset about the mass surveillance happening in every Canadian city by the cities and the governments. Your face is everywhere, there's cameras everywhere in cities, and your face is on those cameras no matter where you go. But this guy or girl or combination or mixture of two never says anything about that. They're just concerned about the Alberta Prosperity Project meetings, and they're trying to create fear so that people don't go. While photography in public spaces can be legal, no, it is absolutely legal. Under certain circumstances, no, it's just legal. They didn't need to put that part. Privacy advocates note that political events introduce heightened sensitivities, particularly when images may be used for promotional, fundraising, or targeting purposes. There's no law against that. As a matter of fact, what did ChatGPT say? I'm going to see if it's up here. ChatGPT tells me that consent may be required when photos are used for selling products. The subject is in a place with a reasonable expectation of privacy. The image is used in a defamatory way. The subject is a minor and context matters, or the photography crosses into harassment or stalking. Other than that, it's not that it may be legal. It is absolutely legal. They go on. More troubling to some attendees are allegations that individuals were asked for detailed personal information, including email addresses. Yes, of course. Phone numbers. Yes, of course. And in some cases, credit card information. Yes, if you buy merchandise and the numbers put in manually, you would probably be asked for your credit card information. But that's it. Ostensibly to be added to mailing lists or to support the movement. Yes, that's the whole idea of an Alberta Prosperity Project meeting or any other meeting for any other society or association in any other place in Canada. But apparently this person doesn't care about that. Critics argue that requesting financial details in a town hall setting, especially without transparent explanations of how, oh, come on. Nobody's asking you for your financial details at the town hall. Nobody. This is not happening. Several attendees report feeling pressured or unclear about whether providing this information was optional. If you're one of those people, please reach out to me. Until you do, this is a complete fabrication, and that does not happen. Privacy experts emphasize that any organization collecting personal, financial data has a responsibility to clearly disclose its purpose, safeguards, and compliance with the laws. Yes, that's done. Without transparency, trust erodes quickly. No, when you write stupid bullshit Substacks alleging things that aren't true, that erodes trust. As complaints continue to circulate online and throughout community networks, critics are increasingly asking why an organization advocating for systemic political change appears unwilling or unable to meet basic expectations around informed consent data protection. None of that is happening. It is a complete make-believe scenario. It's just not. Continue to circulate through online community. That is not happening. Show me this. Show me these people who are claiming these, and get me in touch with them. I really want to know which town halls they went to and what exactly happened, because I know all of the volunteers at all of these town halls, and we can put this to bed right quickly. And then a bunch of myth and debunked things or whatever, but it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. And that's really all I have to say about it. I just want to point out, and I said this in a live that I did just a few minutes ago, that the attacks are going to get stronger. People are going to make claims and try and create, they're going to use fear to try and keep people from participating in APP town halls or signature collection, which are two different things, by the way. They're going to use fear to try and dissuade people from acting on their political will. Now, you tell me if you think, it's this guy again. Yeah. You tell me if you think that is an appropriate thing to do. These people, like Prairies Exposed, would be reduced to a steaming pile of goo on the floor if they debated any of the leadership within the Alberta Prosperity Project on the merits and benefits of Alberta independence. They cannot debate on the facts. So instead of that, they want to stop the conversation and prevent you from hearing it at all. That is the only way they can win. The only way they can win is to cheat. But we're going to make this. What are we going to do, Ross? We're going to make it too big to rig. Ross says we're going to make it too big to rig. And we're going to win. We're going to have an Alberta independence referendum in next year sometime. We're going to win that. And this province is going to be an independent nation. And we're going to chart our own course into the future. We're going to have massive tax cuts. We're going to be the grown-up neighbor that the United States actually wants to trade with. And we're going to be the slap in the face from reality that the rest of the provinces need to stop down the woke path to manage decline that they're on right now. But those that benefit from this stuff, that don't want this to happen, they're going to be kicking and screaming, and they're going to be putting out things like this constantly. So please, if you see something like this, get me the information. I'll talk about it. I'll debunk it online, live, whatever. I've got some stuff in the works right now where I've been paying quite close attention to the broke breakdown. I've been paying attention to the breakdown and his drivel, his lies, and his slanderous ridiculousness. And I'm going to do a debunk video on that as well. Look forward to that, hopefully coming up this week. But send me the information and pay attention. And as my good friend Chris says, keep your stick on the ice. Have a great night. I'm going to play Nintendo. Oh, by the way, I winced in pain because this guy, look at these things. Look at this. Look at that. You see? He's like a freaking velociraptor. His claws they're like a half an inch long each, and he uses my leg as a cat scratch or as a climbing post so that I'll scratch him. Anyway, that's why I was in pain. It wasn't because of the live stream. Have a great night. Meow! Viva Alberta!